to show you or tell you how I write my notes on my iPad. I hope you can understand me well. If not, I'm sorry. But yes, so I do take notes on my iPad and on paper, but in this video it's all about how I write my notes on paper, on my iPad. And I usually start by creating a notebook. It's pretty basic. I just write down what the title is and stuff like that, whatever. And then I choose a color for the subject that I'm writing or making notes about. In this case, it's the shoulder, and yes. So that's basically just the color that I use, and then I will use the same color all over my notes to highlight specific anatomic structures that I want to highlight. The same goes for the highlighter, but that's a different part of this video. Why is it better like that? I don't know. So how do I take my notes? So first of all, I either read the notes at the text first that I'm going to take notes about, or I'm going to listen to the lecture and take notes while I'm at it. So it's basically just how I summarize and whatever. I just summarize that all on my notes, and I try to figure out what's the most important thing, because not everything that's in the text is actually important or relevant or something that you actually need to know. So I only use like the most important information out of the text, and then I write down the key points only. I try my best to only write down key points. As you can see, it not always works out, because I sometimes write full sentences, which is not something that you're supposed to do, because notes are supposed to be short and you should not really have like long sentences, but I do. And one of the most important things for me is that I use color coding and abbreviations. And color coding, I always color code by highlighters and with pens. For example, here like the blue pen that I chose to highlight specific anatomic structures, because blue is the shoulder, so you know, shoulder parts and stuff like that are in blue that I think are important or that I want to see when I look at the text or at my notes. I always have like colors that I always use for specific things. For example, yellow is quite important, but also yellow is nerves and stuff like that. Well, that's a really bad example, because I use it here for ligaments, but an orange thing is for muscles, and the other kind of orange is for ligaments. Red is always, you need to take a look at this, and also red is for diseases and clinical relevance, and I always write them into boxes next to the structure that it's about. For example, this disease, but it's in German, so I don't know what's in English, so I'm not going to say that. Yes, green is very, very, very important. If something is green, I usually need to remember this very well, or something that I think is a detail that I should know. Yes. And then we've got orange, for example, for proteins and for enzymes and stuff that I think are important. I don't need to use them in anatomy, obviously, because I don't have any enzymes or proteins that are relevant. And gray is always, I can notice, it's nice to know, but I don't need to actually know, or I can just have it in the back of my head, but I don't really need to study it. And yes, I also use abbreviations and symbols. Abbreviations are, for example, like you use an abbreviation for example, which is like I.E. And yes, and I also use symbols, and I think symbols are actually the most important, because you can actually make your notes much shorter than if you won't use them. So this is my abbreviation, my symbol for the result, or that's like the result of something. This triangle is a the function for something. A question mark in a circle means how does it work, and a question mark itself means what it's like a question. I have also exclamation marks, which means that's important. 2 dots means it's a definition for something. And then we have also at, which means where it is. And yeah, basically that's all I do. I also like to underline things to just create a different way of looking, a different kind of structure in my notes, and that's basically all I do. I don't have the specific way of taking my notes because I always take them differently, or at least they look different all the time, obviously. But this is the way I take my notes. Ooh. But this is the way, wait, that wasn't my face, that's a glass. But this is the way I take my notes on my iPad. I actually like to print them out because I can't study that well on my iPad, and I think about typing my notes in the next semester because it's much faster. So we will see how that works out, I guess. So yes, I hope that could help you. I don't really have so many tips about note taking, so I don't know why people are always asking me to film a video about how I take my notes, because I don't really have a specific way of taking my notes. It's just that I highlight everything and use color coding, but that's basically it. I don't have any other tips than that. Yeah, so I hope it helps you out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it doesn't, but I hope it does. So yeah, that's basically it, and the sun is coming out and I think I should go for a walk now, but that means I need to put on makeup and I don't know if I want to do it, but yes. Wait, what is this? That looks very pretty too.
Überlegst du schon, welchen du nimmst?
Das war schön.